My ex-girlfriend's laptop was open, revealing a document titled Our Future 5-Year Plan. Curiosity got the better of me, and I clicked. What unfolded was a chilling blueprint. Get pregnant, accidentally move in, then divorce me for alimony after 3 years. I kept my composure, forwarding the document to my lawyer. This plan became evidence in a restraining order against her. At 32, I, a male, still find it hard to believe this happened, but writing it down feels somewhat therapeutic. I work from home as a software consultant. My now ex-girlfriend had been living with me for about 8 months, and we'd been together for nearly 2 years. Our relationship was typical. We'd vent about our jobs, order takeout, and binge-watch popular shows. One morning, she left for work, forgetting her laptop on the kitchen table, screen still on. As I was making coffee, I saw the document, Our Future 5-Year Plan .docx. Initially, I thought it was sweet, perhaps vacation ideas or wedding plans. We'd vaguely discussed marriage. I clicked. The content made me nauseous. It wasn't a sweet plan, but a detailed bullet-pointed guide to trap me, complete with embedded spreadsheets. Her plan was to stop taking birth control without my knowledge, aiming to accidentally get pregnant within 6 months. She even noted, I think he's still on the pill, and planned to act surprised and emotional. Move fully into my house and establish legal residence. This part was already checked off. Use the pregnancy to stop working or work less. She wrote, he'll cover everything because he's responsible like that. Have the baby, take extended maternity leave, maybe quit entirely. He makes $140,000, he can handle it. File for divorce around year 3, citing me as a workaholic or irreconcilable differences. She noted that family courts favor mothers for custody. The end goal, child support around $2,000 per month, alimony for a few years due to her sacrificed career, and forcing a house sale or buyout for half the equity if we were married, even though I bought the house 3 years before meeting her. Her actual words at the bottom, financial security for me and baby. Eventual freedom to live my life. He's stable and boring, but that's what makes this work. There was more. Notes about friends who would corroborate her story of me being distant. Reminders to document arguments and screenshots of my banking app, savings and retirement accounts. This wasn't a fleeting thought. She'd been planning this for months. My hands shook, but my mind entered a calm autopilot mode. I forwarded the entire document to my personal email, then to my lawyer, the same one who handled my house purchase, texting him, need to talk ASAP, urgent. I photographed the document on her screen. The file properties showing it was last modified 4 days ago, and her logged-in user account. I covered every base, closed the laptop, and left it exactly as I found it. I worked as if it were a normal day. She returned home cheerful, talking about her day and asking about dinner. We ordered pizza, ate, and watched TV. I said nothing. The next morning, my lawyer called. This is pretty damning evidence if she ever tries anything legal, he said. Have you confronted her yet? No. Good, don't. Not yet. Let me think about how to handle this strategically. First question, are you two married? No, she lives here, but it's my house. I bought it 3 years before we met. Excellent. Is her name on any accounts or assets? No, everything's separate. She Venmos me like $400 a month for her share of groceries and utilities. Even better. Here's what we should do. Update 1, my lawyer outlined a plan. The goal was self-protection, not revenge. First, I documented everything. Conversations, odd behaviors, Venmo payments, even a photo of her full birth control pill pack, indicating she hadn't started phase 1. Second, I secured my assets. My lawyer drafted a cohabitation agreement, clearly stating we were dating, not married or common law. My house and money were mine. She had no legal claim. I left it on the table with a sticky note. Hey, babe. My financial advisor suggested we both sign this for legal protection since you're living here. Standard stuff for couples who live together.
No big deal, but covers us both if anything happens.
Love you. She signed it that day without careful reading, texting me a photo of her signature with heart emojis. The third part was trickier. I needed to derail her scheme without revealing my knowledge. That weekend, she was in a great mood. We were on the couch, she on Instagram, me feigning interest in the TV. Random question, I said. Do you see us getting married someday? She looked up, smiling broadly. Of course, when the time's right. Why are you thinking about it? Yeah, I've been thinking about the future a lot lately. Our future, kids, timeline, all that stuff. Her eyes lit up. She likely thought her plan was progressing perfectly. I actually need to be honest with you about something, I said. I don't think I want kids like ever. I've been thinking about getting a vasectomy. Her smile froze. What? I know we haven't really talked about it seriously, but the more I think about my life, the more I realize I'm happy with things as they are. My career, my freedom, just you and me. A kid would change everything, and I don't want that change. I'm looking into scheduling a consultation. She stared, her brain visibly recalculating. Her entire plan hinged on a baby. No baby, no child support, no custody leverage, no, I gave up my career for our family story. No, you can't be serious right now. I am serious. Is that a deal breaker for you? Because I'd understand if it is. I need to think about this, she said quietly. Of course. Take whatever time you need. Just wanted to be upfront about it. She barely spoke to me that weekend, went to bed early, and spent a lot of time on her phone in the other room. That Monday, she texted from work, I think we need to talk about where this relationship is going. Maybe I should move back to my apartment for a while. Her lease had ended months ago. She'd sublet her old place. She had nowhere to go but her parents 3 hours away or couch surf. I texted back, if that's what you need, I understand. Take whatever time you need to figure things out. Update 2. She didn't move out. Instead, she tried to change my mind. First came the tears, copious crying about always dreaming of being a mom, building a future together, and being devastated by my decision. I remained calm. I understand you're disappointed. That's exactly why I wanted to tell you now, instead of wasting more of your time if kids are a deal breaker for you. Then she grew angry, accusing me of leading her on and wasting 2 years of her life, calling me selfish and immature for not wanting to grow up and be a real man. I let her vent, not arguing, just repeating, I'm sorry you feel that way. Then bargaining, what if we just had one? Just one kid. I'd do all the work. You'd barely have to help. A huge red flag, but I just shook my head. I've made my decision. If that doesn't align with what you want from life, I totally get it. Maybe we should end things so you can find someone who wants the same future. That's when things turned nasty. She stopped paying her share of expenses. When I asked, she said, you make way more than me anyway. You can afford it. Besides, I'm saving up to move out since you're basically kicking me out. I never asked her to leave, never said she had to go, but sure, make me the bad guy. I caught her going through my file cabinet one night. When I asked what she was doing, she claimed she was looking for a phone charger in a locked cabinet. Right. She started treating my house like a hotel. Dishes piled up, laundry everywhere, messes in every room. When I asked her to clean, she'd snap, well, you're the one who wants me gone anyway, so what do you care? I photographed everything, documenting dates and times. Then her mom called me out of nowhere. What is going on with you two? My daughter is absolutely devastated. She thought you were going to propose and now you're throwing her out on the street. Ma'am, I'm not throwing anyone out. I was honest about not wanting children and she's processing that information. She's welcome to stay as long as she needs while she figures out her next steps. You led her on. She gave up her apartment to move in with you. She chose to end her lease. I never asked her to do that. You are a cold, heartless person. My daughter deserves so much better than you. She probably does deserve better, which is why I think it's best if we go our separate ways. Her mom sputtered and hung up. A couple of days later, her best friend showed up at my house, pushed past me when I answered the door. We need to talk about what you're doing to her. Excuse me? She is miserable, crying every single day. You tell her you love her, you move her into your house, and then you just randomly decide you don't want the same things anymore. That's manipulative as hell. I was honest about where I stand on having kids. She's free to make her own choices based on that information. You're manipulating her. You know she has nowhere else to go. You're making her feel trapped. She's a grown woman with a full-time job and her own income. She's choosing to stay here. I'm not forcing anything. The friend got in my face. You're going to regret this. She could take you for everything you have. You know that, right? There it was. The real reason for the friendly visit, testing me to see if I knew about her rights. I smiled. We have a signed cohabitation agreement clearly stating she has no claim to my property or assets, and we're not married, so there's no alimony situation. But I appreciate your concern. Her face went completely white. You made her sign something? I asked her to sign a standard legal document that accurately reflects our relationship status. She signed it willingly without any pressure. The friend left without another word. That same night, my girlfriend confronted me. Did you trick me into signing away my rights? You signed a document that accurately describes our situation. You're not my wife. This isn't your house. You have no legal claim to my property or income. That's just reality. I could still sue you. For what exactly? She had no answer. I think it's time for you to move out, I said. You have 30 days. That's more than fair. She absolutely lost it, screaming about how I'd used her, how I was heartless, how she'd given me the best years of her life, and I was throwing her away like garbage. I didn't engage, just walked to my office and locked the door. The next morning, the laptop was gone from the kitchen table. Final update. The last couple of weeks were insane, but it's finally over. After I told her she needed to move out, she went scorched earth. She told everyone I'd been financially abusing her, forcing her to pay rent in our house while controlling her money. Some mutual friends reached out. I kept it simple. We're breaking up because we want different things from life. I've asked her to move out with plenty of notice. That's all I'm comfortable discussing. Most understood and stayed neutral. A few took her side. Whatever. She tried claiming tenants' rights, having some paralegal friends send me a letter stating I couldn't kick her out, and she was entitled to at least 60 days' notice. My lawyer responded with the signed cohabitation agreement, which stated she was a month-to-month occupant and could be asked to leave with 30 days' notice. He also pointed out I hadn't filed formal eviction paperwork, just asked her to leave voluntarily. The paralegal never responded. Then she switched tactics, becoming super affectionate, apologizing for overreacting about the kids. She said she'd been thinking and maybe didn't need to be a mom. Maybe we could get a dog. I wasn't buying it. I told her nothing had changed and she still needed to be out by the deadline. That's when I got a call from the police. She'd filed a report claiming I'd stolen her laptop. The cop sounded bored. Sir, your girlfriend is saying you took her computer. Is that true? No, officer. She took it herself a while back. It was in the kitchen. Then it wasn't. I assumed she'd moved it to her room or taken it to work. She's claiming you admitted to going through it and reading her private documents without permission. My heart raced, but I kept my voice steady. I saw a document that was already open on the screen when she left it on our kitchen table. I didn't go digging through her files or access anything that wasn't already displayed. All right. Well, it's a civil matter anyway. She'd need to take you to court if she thinks you did something wrong. Have a good one. That was close. She was fishing to see if I'd admit to seeing her plan. A few days later, she showed up with her dad and brother in a U-Haul. Her dad was civil. We're just here to get her things. No problem. Let me know if you need help with anything. They loaded her furniture, clothes, everything. She didn't say a word to me, just shot me death glares while her dad and brother did the heavy lifting. As they finished, her brother pulled me aside. Hey man, I don't know what happened with you two, but she's been acting really strange lately. Just watch your back. All right? I appreciate the heads up. She keeps talking about suing you or getting lawyers involved. Says you owe her money for the time she lived here. I tried telling her that's not how breakups work, but she's not listening to anyone right now. I've got a lawyer handling things if she tries anything, but thanks for the warning. He nodded and they left. She came back a few days after that. I was out, but saw her on my doorbell camera. She was trying to use her old key in the lock, which didn't work since I'd changed the locks after she moved out. She pounded on the door for a while, yelling about me being a coward and a liar, then left. I sent the footage to my lawyer, documenting it. About a week later, she showed up at my office. I work from home mostly, but go in for meetings. She must have been tracking my location via Google Maps sharing, which I'd forgotten to turn off. She cornered me in the parking lot as I was leaving. We need to talk right now. No, we really don't. Please leave me alone. You ruined my life. I gave up everything for you. You didn't give up anything. You ended a lease, which was your own choice. Now please leave before I call security. You're going to regret this. I have proof you emotionally abused me. I have texts. I have witnesses. I'm going to destroy your reputation. That was it. I pulled out my phone and called my lawyer in front of her. She's here at my workplace threatening me, I said calmly. Harassment and defamation threats. She tried to grab my phone. I stepped back. Are you recording me? No. I'm on the phone with my attorney. She literally ran to her car and peeled out. My lawyer filed for a temporary restraining order that afternoon. We had the doorbell footage, the parking lot incident, and screenshots of threatening texts her friend had sent. The hearing was quick. She showed up with her mom and the paralegal friend. The judge reviewed the evidence. The threats, showing up at my workplace, trying to get into my house after moving out. Ma'am, did you go to his place of work? I just wanted to talk to him. He won't answer any of my calls or texts. Did you attempt to enter his residence after you'd already moved out? I left some of my things there. I was just checking on them. With a key that no longer worked, suggesting you were aware you were no longer welcome at the property. She had no response. The judge granted the restraining order. 500 feet from me, my home, and my workplace for 1 year. Her mom started crying in the courtroom, telling the judge I was ruining her daughter's life over just a breakup. The judge was not having it. Ma'am, your daughter engaged in harassment and made explicit threats. This isn't about a breakup. This order is for the petitioner's protection and safety. As we left the courthouse, the paralegal friend caught up with me. You know she's going to fight this, right? She's already talked to some lawyers about palimony. Good luck with that. We dated less than 2 years, never got married, she signed a cohabitation agreement, and she has her own job and income. There's no case there. She's going to make your life a living hell. She's legally required to stay 500 feet away from me. So actually, no, she's really not. That was about a week ago. I haven't heard from her since. I changed my phone number, blocked her on every platform, and turned off all location sharing. My house feels peaceful again. I'm sleeping better. Work is back to normal productivity. Did I feel guilty? Yeah, a little at first. 2 years is 2 years. We had some good times. But then I think about that document, the spreadsheets, the cold, calculated plan to trap me with a pregnancy and drain me financially for years. She never loved me. She loved what I could provide, the stability, the $140K salary, the house, the comfortable lifestyle. I was never a person to her, just a resource to be exploited. My lawyer kept copies of that document as evidence. If she tries to file for palimony or makes any legal claims, he'll submit it to show premeditation and bad faith. The vasectomy I mentioned? That was originally just a test, but honestly, I went through with it last week. Good insurance at this point. My brother asked if I dodged a bullet. More like a tactical nuke. To anyone reading this, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. And protect yourself legally before things fall apart. I'm doing okay now. I started seeing a therapist to process the betrayal, which has helped a lot. I got back into hobbies I dropped while we were together. I even grabbed coffee with someone from a friend's game night last weekend. Nothing serious, just nice to feel normal again. Life goes on, and it goes on way better without someone actively plotting to exploit you. I know some people might think I was too cold or harsh, but she literally wrote a detailed plan to baby trap me, fake marital problems, take half my house, and extract thousands per month from me for years while living her free life. I responded by being honest about my boundaries, protecting my assets, and getting legal protection when she started harassing me. I'll sleep just fine with that. Stay safe out there, and maybe don't leave your evil plans open on your laptop.